All right, we'll continue our discussion on AVL trees. We were looking at this particular example, and we said that insertion involves four different cases: left, 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 right, right, left, and right, right. And in each of these cases, there are different kinds of primitives or rotations that we need to perform. And we have looked at some of that, at least half of that, I should say, left, left, and right, right case, where it involves only a single rotation. So we were here where we had inserted 1 to 7 numbers in some order, and we got the height balance tree, which is what it should be. And if I give you 1 to 7 numbers and ask you to create a height balance tree, the fully height balanced one is going to be looking like this, right? So there could be other height balance trees. For example, you might be able to construct, will you be able to 4 to 3? Yeah, that might be a little tough. Okay, but maybe with a different route we might be able to, right? Which is probably not fully uh, height balanced, but we might be able to still construct one height balanced tree because we allow the difference of 1 in the left and the right children's height. Okay, so let's continue discussing this example further, and we have many more entries to be inserted, right? So what will be the tree like after we insert 16? Does that create an imbalance? Okay. Murari, Rishabh, Shania, Yashwant Reddy, all of them are saying that it doesn't create really an imbalance, right? So when you, for example, add 16, that is going to be coming right of 4, right of 6, right of 7, and therefore it is going to get inserted here. And since originally it is fully height balanced, this one node is not going to cause any trouble, right? So therefore this is going to be okay. So we'll add 16 there. Now let's add 15. Does that cause any problem? So 15 accordingly is going to come to the left of 16, and that should cause an imbalance at node number. Yes, Abhishek and Sania say that yes, there will be an imbalance. Imbalance at, okay. Yes, so that is correct, Abhishek, that there will be an imbalance at 6, but the first imbalance is going to come at 7. Yes. No, first imbalance should come at 7 because we'll be adding 15 to the left of 16, right here. And therefore the first imbalance gets created, the first imbalance as we go upwards, right? So that should be the order that the deepest node where the imbalance happens, right? So that is going to be 7. Is that correct? Any suggestions? Did I make a mistake? Okay, sure. So, okay, so now let's try to fix that, right? So we add 16 and then we add 15. And one way to solve this issue is that we can do a left rotation at this stage where 16 kind of becomes the root, right? And then we get the modified tree, right? So this is definitely height balanced. Any suggestions on this one? All good so far? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so what Saicharan, Rishabh and Shani are suggesting that this is, there is something wrong with it, right? And I hope all of you are able to see that. In case you are not able to see that, please wake up, concentrate. This is a little complicated part, right? So this particular tree that I am showing, it might be height balanced, but it is not a BST at all, let alone AVL, right? So because 15 is the right child of 16, and that is not something which is allowed in a BST, right? So what did we do? We said that there is a height imbalance at 7, and it has a right child, and therefore let me rotate it to the left so that 16 becomes the root, 7 comes to the left, and 15 comes to the right, whereas 15 was the left child of 16, right? So we can't, I mean, in such cases, we don't do left right changing, right? So therefore, there is something different. But then, how did this work earlier? Well, we have not seen this case earlier, right? So this is not the LL or RR case, right? So this is wrong. So the it is neither LL case nor RR case. It is actually a right-left case. How? Let me just show you that. This is the right and then the left. Right? So it is occurring in the right subtree of the imbalance node, and the child that got inserted is the left child. And therefore, this is an RL case. Okay. And if this is an RL case, then we have really not seen how to take care of this, but we know that one needs to do double rotation, not a single rotation, double rotation. In case of case 1 and case 4, LL and RR, we said that one rotation is enough. In LL case, one R rotation is fine. In case 4 RR case, one left rotation is fine. In case of RL, we'll have to do two rotations. How do those two rotations going to be involved? One part is we have to rotate this here, so that 15 becomes the root of the subtree rooted at 16, and 16 becomes its right child. That is one rotation, which is going to be R. And then once you have 7, right child 15 and right child 16, at that in that case it becomes an RR case, and then we can apply the left rotation. Right? So there will be these two rotations involved, and as we have discussed, two rotations are going to be enough. That's a big plus over the number of rotations being required being log n. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Okay, so this was our RL case. Once again, I'll reiterate this, that this is the imbalance node. In the right subtree, the left child is getting affected or getting added, right? So therefore, this is going to be, well, I should not. Okay, that's fine. So that becomes an RL case, and it is easy to see that in RL case you are going to require first right rotation, because the imbalance is in the left subtree. So first right rotation and then the left rotation, and therefore RL case is going to have actually R and L rotations required. LR case is going to require first left and then right, the opposite of I mean, it needs to follow bottom up order. The rotations happen first below. So therefore, if it is RL case, the second L needs to be fixed, and therefore we require an R there. Then when we go upwards to the parent where the imbalance exists, then we need to apply the opposite to R, which becomes L. Anyway, we'll see this. Okay, so let's fix that. So we said that first we do an R, which is going to convert this into an RR case, right? So that becomes like this. This part we are aware of, and then we do a left rotation, and then 15 becomes the root, 7 becomes the left child, 16 becomes the right child, right? So that is what is going to happen. Together we can say that this is an RL case, right? So when you combine these two, R and L, that becomes a larger primitive. We have said that L and R are primitives. Primitives meaning those are kind of so small, simple, fixed operations which you can apply, or transformations which you can apply in a given BST. Note that I said in a given BST, I didn't say in a given AVL, because rotations are defined even in case of BST. Right? It need not be only in the AVL. You can use rotations to perform some other functionality. So these are primitives which we are using in the context of AVL trees to maintain height balance. But you could use it in the BST case. Maybe you want to maintain some other property. Right? So rotations are generic primitives which are applicable in BSTs. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So we'll finish this example and then we'll look at the code. And as I was mentioning, the code will turn out to be relatively simpler to look at compared to the discussion that we are having, but let's see. Right? So that becomes our AVL tree, and that right-left double rotation is essentially the RR case, RL case. Right? So let's formulate that with our K1, K2. In this case, we'll require one more K3, but in this case, K1 is the one where the height imbalance exists, right? And it is happening in its right subtree, whose root is K3, and it is because of the addition of some node in the left, right? So that becomes here. And let's say that the root of that is K2, right? So because we need to do double rotation, the R needs to be done here, right? And if R needs to be done here, then I need to take out K2. This K2 is the same one that we had earlier, right? Because we said that K2 needs to get rotated. So that was a single rotation case. Therefore, I have named it as K2. So in this case, when we try to balance out first the right rotation and then the left rotation, how would the tree look like? Can you draw that and show me a level order traversal? The in-order traversal should remain the same: A K1, B K2, C K3, D. Okay, so I don't see an answer, but okay, let's do it step by step. If I had to do first a right rotation, okay, there is some answer. Murari says K1, A, K2, then B, K3, and then CD. Sure. Yeah, there will be some ambiguity with respect to, because I have shown those as triangles, but yeah, I understand. So this is going to be the case after right rotation. Right? So actually that was what I was coming to in case the overall RL is difficult. Let's do only R. So R's answer is given in this case, so by Murari. So we'll have K1 remain, I mean, K1 and A remain the same. When we do a right rotation at K2, we are going to make, or rather K3 as we call it, K2 becomes the root of that subtree, which is currently rooted by K3. K3 becomes the right child. K3 adopts K2's left parent, right child, which is going to be C, right? And it becomes left child of K3. C becomes left child of K3. K2's right child is K3. K2's left child remains B. So that is what Murari's level order traversal suggests. Okay. On this, if we do now a left rotation, what will we get? As you must have noticed in this as well as the previous example, the path K1, K3, K2, that becomes like RR case in the after the first rotation. Right? So when we had added 7, 16, and then 15, when we did the right rotation first for 15 and 16, Then 15 became the root, 16 became the right child. So the path became 7, 15, 16, all of them on the right subtree, on the right path. In a similar manner here, K1, K3, K2, it is right left part, but that we are going to convert it into a right case when we move right rotate K2. Therefore, it becomes K1, right child K3, sorry, right child K2, right child K3. Okay, so anybody wants to show the level order traversal? Yes, K2 will become the root, that is correct. Since it is K1 followed by K2 followed by K3 and we do a left rotation, K2 will become the root whose children are going to be K1 and K3 as Varat suggests. Rishabh also says K1, K3. Salman also says the same. Yeah, and ABCD comes at the bottom, right? A is going to be the, and Murari also says the same. A is the going to be the continue to remain the left child of K1, but it will now adopt, K1 will now adopt B from K2, right? And then K2 is going to have K1 and K3 as its left and right children. K3 originally had the D as the right child. Now it is going to adopt C from K2. Sorry, no, it already had C as the left child after the right rotation of K2 in the first step. Correct. All right, so the tree is going to look the way you guys have suggested after RL. And I mean, although I am showing this example as a fully height balanced, it might not be fully height balanced. For example, in this case, we said that it might be occurring because of some insertion in B. But C might not be exactly at that order, in that height, right? So C is likely to be actually one level above the ground level, right? So therefore, this need not always be height balance, but I'm just showing it. That is one case which can occur. Okay. Any questions on this particular RL rotation? The first rotation is okay. Let me try to draw that. Okay, and please pardon my drawing. So this is going to be K1. This part remains A. Sorry, it turned out to be a lambda. But okay, K1 has the right child as K2 because we have done a right rotation on K3. So then we are going to have, so the leftmost child and the rightmost child do not change, children do not change, right? So this continues to remain B. And its right child is going to be K3. And that is going to have, yeah, so its right child is again not going to change, right, which is going to be D. And its left child is going to be C. Is this correct? Let me check. So K2 when it K2 K3 when they right rotate, K2 becomes the root of that subtree, K3 becomes the right child, K3 adopts K2's right child which is C, and K2's left child continues. Yeah, this seems to, so this is after R. So from here, if you do an R, then you get this subtree. And then on this, if we do that AVL tree, on this, if we do an L, then we'll get this. So therefore, together, when we do RL, we get this. Is this okay, Sai Charan, Abhishek? Okay. Any other concerns, questions here? see the okay, Saicharan is asking how does C get replaced, right? So C is the right child of K2, right? And the order is K2C K3 in the in-order traversal. Yes, and since K3 is now going to become the right child of K2, we need somebody to adopt C. K3 is going to lose its left child because there is parent-child relationship is going to get flipped between K2 and K3. So K3's left child, which is going to be smaller than K3, now can be now it can adopt C, and therefore this is similar to what we had in the LL case where we did a right rotation. Right? So here also we are just doing a right rotation. So therefore that subtree gets the right subtree of K2 gets adopted by as the left subtree of K3. In a similar manner, when we do an L, for example here, when we are doing an L, we are saying that the left subtree of K1 remains same here. Right? K1's left subtree. Similarly, the right subtree of K3 will also remain the same. Yeah, sorry, right subtree of K2 will remain the same. Right? And therefore the whole subtree beneath K3 will also remain the same. But since we are going to rotate K1 like this, K1 and K2 like this, therefore K2 is now going to become the root and K1 is going to become its left child. So K1 and K2's parent-child relationship is going to get flipped. If K2 becomes the root and K1 becomes its left child, where will K2's left child go, original left child, which is B, go? That needs to be adopted by K1 because K1's right child is no longer going to be true, no longer going to be there, and we have to maintain the BST property also. So therefore K1 adopts B here. And so that was the adoption which was happening in the L case, and this is the adoption of C which is happening in the R case. Yeah. Any other concerns here? Pavan says, what if K2 is 16? Okay. K3 is 18. Okay. And C is 20. Okay. That is, yeah. K3, I mean, that will not be a BST, right? You are right. So that is, if C is greater than K3, then BST wouldn't be satisfied. Yes, that is correct. So we have not said anything about the values. We can say that the values satisfy the BST property. If it would have been 20, then it would have been inserted somewhere else. It would have been inserted in the right child of K3. Is that okay, Pawan? Okay. Others says, I understand the rotations performed, but when we added, say, B to the tree, it would have already created a height imbalance. When we added B, it would have already created a height imbalance. Before even we add C. Well, it's possible that C might have been added before. Maybe the way I have drawn it pictorially, that is causing some confusion. But you can assume that A is at, I mean, A could be at different levels depending upon the sizes of A and B. Okay, I should not erase the ink. See, A could be at the same level as K2. Right? It's not necessary that A should be at the same level as K3 only. Since A is a subtree, it can be at the level of K2, and then B is probably the first node that is getting added. No, sorry, we'll have to go 2 levels down, right? So B and C can be one level as such, and then we are adding a new node, let's say inside B, right? So that is one possibility. Another possibility is A could be at the same level as B's and C's roots. In that case, B and C can go further below, and then within B, I am adding a new node. Right? So maybe I have not drawn it properly, but A could be at the level of K2 also. A could be at the level of B and C's roots also. A could be at the level of B and C's leaf -1 levels also, leaf -2 levels also. So that I'm adding a new node. So the important part here is that I am inserting a node now in B such that the imbalance is occurring at K1. Before adding this node, there was no imbalance at K1. In fact, no imbalance in the subtree, in the whole AVL tree. Right. So that is more important. Maybe I have not drawn it properly. In fact, that's what I was suggesting, that this I have drawn nicely at the same level, but that need not always be the case, right? So B and C need not be at the same level, for example. This could be at different levels. Yeah. Any other concerns, questions? Okay. Then we'll finish this example, right? So we were inserting 15, and let's insert that. So that we added as the first, the right child of 6, and then 7 and 16 after the RL rotations became its children. Now when we are adding 14, thankfully nothing happens at 15. However, you can see that there is an imbalance that is getting created at 6. Note again that the imbalance might not be getting created at the grandparent. It might get created anywhere in the ancestor, but only along the path from root to the node that is being inserted. In this case, it is happening at 6, but it could have as well happened at 4. It cannot happen at 2, 5, 3, 1. Right? So let's fix this, and this is going to be now what case? Irrespective of what case it is, that nomenclature is not very important, but let's try to fix it. Let's see if somebody is able to do that. Can somebody tell me what will be the rotation that will be required? Is it 1 rotation, 2 rotations, and if and depending upon the number, which rotations will be required? Okay. Abhishek says LR, Salman says RL. RL case 2 rotations. Abhishek also says no, RL. Okay. Okay. So let's understand what we will do. So first we have to fix so if we look at this part, so there is a right child that is getting added, but that doesn't mean that this is our case, right? So there is a right child, right subtree of 6 where the imbalance is happening. There something is happening. So the first one seems to be R. The second one is not L. It is decided by the right child is getting added, right? So the intervening part here doesn't contribute to the case, right? It is decided by the right subtree of the imbalance node and the new node that is getting inserted, whether it is the right child or the left child. So in this case, therefore, this is going to be an sorry, did I make a mistake? I think I made a mistake. Yes. So it is going to be R, and then we are going to have, sorry, the R part where it is getting inserted. And therefore, it is not going to be decided by whether it is a right child or the left child. I said exactly the opposite. It is going to be decided by in which subtree it is getting added. And since it is right subtree of imbalance node 6 and the left subtree of the child of that, therefore we are into RL case. And if we are in the RL case, then we have to do a right rotation first, which means that we have to perform a right rotation here. So in some sense, we are doing a right rotation at 15. and therefore 7 is going to become the root. 15 is going to become its right. Will that maintain the, yeah, so 7 will become the root. 50, yeah, so 15 will become its right child, and 14 will be adopted by 15 as its left child, and 16 will continue to remain as the right child of 15. Once we have that, then essentially we are again doing 6, 7 and 15 in the same RR order, and therefore we can perform a left rotation so that 6 goes down and becomes the left child of 7. Right, so I'll just show that here. So ignore this 13 for now, just look at this part of the tree. So I'm not showing the intermediate part, but the intermediate part 7, 6 was the root of the subtree, 7 was its right child, and 15 was the right child of 7. 7's left child was 14. Sorry, no, that should not be the case, right? No, yeah, that is correct. So 14 was adopted by 15, and therefore this is going to be coming here. And then 7's left child was empty, and that continued to remain empty. So as I said, the right child remains the same. So 15 will continue to point to 16 as the right child, and the left child of 7 is going to be continuing to remain the same, which was null. So that was in the intervening case, 7's left child is going to be empty. Once we have that intermediate part, when we do a left rotation, we had 6, 7 and 15. And then when we do a left rotation, 7 becomes the root of that subtree, 6 goes down, 5 continues to remain as the left child, 15 continues to remain as the right child of 7, and there is an adoption of what? Somebody is adopting something. What is that? 14 by 15. No, that happened in the R case, but in the L case there is also some adoption happening. I'll come to Sai Charan your question. 7 by 5. No. See, 7 is, I mean, 5 is the grandchild of 7, right? So there is adoption, the adoption of a child is happening, right? So earlier in the R case, 7's right child, which was 14, was adopted by 50 when we did a right rotation. 7's right child, which was 14, was adopted by 15 as its left child. When we do an L rotation, left rotation, then somebody needs to adopt something, right? So what would that be? 7 by 5, no. Others say 6 by 7. Well, that is part of the rotation, but the adopting of a child, where the way in which we have discussed, okay, so I see that no, not 7 by 4, the way we have discussed. I understand that the child of 4 is changing and the child of 7 is changing, etc. But the adoption word we have used very carefully in a particular case. That is not coming out. Okay, so let's understand what was the situation after only R. Right, so I'm just going to draw this part. This is 6. Then there is 7. And then there is 15 here. And then 6 had 5. Yeah, and 15 had 14 and 16, right? So that I keep. Now when we do a left rotation on 6, there is some adoption happening. Where is that happening? In first case, 14 is adopted. That is correct. In the R case, 14 was adopted by 15. That is correct. In a similar manner, there was an adoption which is happening. As Sai Charan is probably suggesting, adoption of null. Rishabh says no adoption in second rotation, left rotation. In second case here, 7's left node after right rotation will be adopted, that is null. Yes, will be adopted by whom? Yes, and that will become a right child of 6, right? So 7's left child is left subtree rather is adopted as 6th right child, right? That is the precise statement. That in this case is happening to be null, and therefore we are not seeing it, but that does happen, right? In a similar manner that 15 was adopting 14 as its left child. Okay, so that happened, and therefore 6's right child is null, shown in the second AVL tree that I'm showing here after the RL. Okay, so that part is fine. Let's come to Sai Charan's question. So first rotation occurs at right node of 6. That is correct, at 15. And the following left rotation happens at 6 point of imbalance. Yes, that is what we call it, because we require that node to be involved in the rotation. And of course, the parent is also involved in the rotation in some sense. But since we are dealing only with that subtree, we say that the rotation happens at 15 in the first case, and rotation happens at 6 in the second case. Okay, good. Any other concerns, questions? Okay. So then I request you to fill up the remaining part. How will the tree look like after you have inserted all the elements? Please try that out and fill up the and share your level order traversal of the AVL tree. So 13 is going to be an interesting case because you have to go all the way to the root. As you can see, there is no imbalance at 14, no imbalance at 15, no imbalance at 7 either. You have to go all the way to the root where there is actually imbalance. And that might require you something, but hopefully, okay. Okay, Murari has inserted all the nodes. So this seems to be his final answer. Let's see. We'll compare with what others are saying. So 13 is the RR case, and therefore a single rotation should help us, the left rotation. So 7 becomes the root, and then 4 comes down, and hopefully the height imbalance reduces, and that will make it height balanced. Oh, 14 comes all the way up, is it? Let me see. Mhm. Okay, so by the time you guys are working on this, I'll just go ahead and consider this case of insertion of 13 that is going to require a single left rotation, and that will give us 7 as the root now. And now when we are trying to insert 12, again there is an imbalance. Thankfully the imbalance is way below, which is at 14, and that also becomes LL case. So we do a right rotation, 13 becomes the root, the left child of 15. 14 becomes its right child, 12 becomes its left child, right? So that requires a single R rotation, and we come here. This is up to insertion of 12, right? When we have to insert 11, that is going to come here, and that is not going to add any imbalance as far as I see. Okay, it is going to add imbalance. So when we add 11 here, that is going to add imbalance at 15, and therefore we will have to do a R rotation, which is a single rotation, and that will solve the case. So 7's right child is going to become 30, right? So that's what I think. So 15 becomes the problem, and then 7's right child becomes 13, and the rest of it remains. You can figure it out, that when this rotation happens, then 13 will become the root, 15 will be on its right side, and 13's right child, which is 14, will be adopted as 15's left child, right? So that is what is going to be the case. Okay, so that was insertion of 11. Rishabh has also given an answer which is slightly different from Murari's answer. Let's see. Then when we are inserting 10, thankfully the imbalance is just at the grandparent, and therefore the single right rotation will fix this. 11 becomes the root with children 10 and 12. Right? So when we are inserting, so that becomes up to the insertion of 10. Now we have only 2 elements left to be inserted. Okay, Yashwant Reddy has given 413 to 5. Okay, this is a third answer. Okay, we'll see which one, and there has to be exactly one answer, right? So there can't be 2 answers. So okay, so when we are adding 8, we go to the right of 7, left of 13, left of 11, left of 10, and therefore 8 is going to get added here. Does that create an imbalance? Doesn't seem to be the case. So 8 seems to be harmless, but when we try to add 9, that is going to get created here, and that will create an imbalance at I think 10, and therefore we will do a left rotation followed by right rotation, so we'll require a double case. So 8 is fine. When we are at this place, we'll have to do LR, the left rotate first. So the left rotate will make sure that this comes to the top, and 8 becomes its left child. So now 10, 9 and 8 become left case, and therefore we can do a right rotation at 10. Therefore 9 becomes the left child of 11 with children as 8 and 10. Is that how it is? Let's see. Yeah, so that is what I have obtained. In case somebody has found any mistake, please let me know. Now let's check who has gotten the correct answer. So we have 7, 4, 13. After that, 2, 6, 11, 15. 2, 6, 11, 15. Rishabh seems to be having correct so far. 1, 3, 5, 9, 12, 14, 16, 8, 10. Okay, so today's winner is Rishabh. But thanks a lot, Murari and Yashwant Reddy, for trying out, as well as others who did not share the things but shared the output but tried out. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, one question I have is, last time I had given this as a homework. How many of you had tried actually this up to insertion of 9? Murari says, I think made a mistake while rotation, but it seems my final tree is best and height balance somehow. Oh, height, final tree is BST. Okay, I thought that you were talking about best. Okay, fine, sure. No, I think that is not the right thing to do because it's not guaranteed that it will always result in a correct BST. So, okay, but anyway, it is correct that a different rotation might give you a correct BST. That is perfectly fine. So, as Murari has probably gotten a different tree, you can get a different tree if you perform a different rotation. Instead of performing, let's say at 10, I might want to perform somewhere else, and I might still get a balanced BST. That is possible. So in general, you can do different rotations. As far as our exam is concerned, let's follow one particular way so that I can check that it is a consistent result. But yeah, in general, you can perform at different places. No. It's not guaranteed that we'll get imbalanced tree if we make a mistake. No, that's not guaranteed. You can get a balanced tree. Yes. You can get a BST also, you can get a balanced tree also. Yes. Just that this is one way that Adelson, Velsky, Landis have found out. So, which has been proven with respect to complexity, correctness, etc. All right. Any concerns, any questions so far? Yeah, I had that question which you have not answered. Please type in if you have actually tried the homework up to insertion of 9 as I had given yesterday. I'm not asking if you got the correct answer. I'm just checking if somebody tried. Okay, so मेरा खाता नहीं खुला है आज. Okay, Murari has tried it. Okay, thank you. All right, that sounds good. Ani says he tried till 13. Okay. Okay. Thank you. The reason that it's difficult to try beyond a point is because we have not considered that case of double rotation. So it is all right if you have not tried beyond that. So, okay, sounds good. So we'll move ahead from here and let's come to, okay, source avl.cpp. Okay, others says every rotation performed is guaranteed to not affect BST product. Yes, the ones that we have looked at. No, not every rotation. The way, can you do arbitrary other rotations? Yes, I think it is possible. Yes, that should be possible. So even other rotations are possible in the BST beyond the ones that we have looked at. So the way rotation is defined where you adopt the children properly, yes, you can maintain the BST property correctly. That is correct, others. And as also indicated by the second part of your statement, which is not mentioned, is that it need not maintain the AVL property, the height balance property. So you can perform rotation. For example, if I give you a linked list and you want to perform some traverse linked list BST and you want to perform some rotation there, yes, perfectly fine. Originally it was not height balanced. Later also it is not height balanced, but you can perform a valid rotation on that and you can go on performing rotations. So rotations you can perform on a BST, and that's the advantage. So although we study it in the context of AVL, rotations are possible on the BST, and therefore you can apply it to reach AVL. Given an AVL also you can perform a rotation. Right? For example, here I say that the final AVL that I have obtained, I can just want to perform a rotation on 9, right? Right rotation on 9. And therefore 8 becomes the root, 9 becomes its right child, 10 becomes its right child. That is perfectly fine. You are converting an AVL tree into a non-height balanced tree. That is perfectly fine. Maybe that is something which you require as part of your algorithm. That is perfectly fine. Since AVL is a BST tree, you can perform rotations uh, left and right on it. Right. So let me put it that way. Okay. Can we get few more problems with solutions to practice rotations? I'm not sure if we'll be able to. I will be able to give solutions also, but I'll see. I can give some practice problem. Anyway, on Wednesday we have planned this, so maybe I'll include some question on that. I think that will be helpful. And he says rotation always no. Sai Charan says I am still finding taking to time to decide where to perform the rotation, which type of rotation to perform. Yeah, I think some examples will help. I agree. And he says rotation always happens at the first node from leaves that is imbalanced to verify whether we are right or wrong. Yes, I mean, we have to identify the node which is imbalanced, that is correct, but the rotation might happen below, especially in the double rotation case. If it's single rotation, yes, it is happening at that subtree root, the imbalance node. But if it is RL or LR cases, then it happens below first and then you come back to the imbalance node. For example, in this case, 9, not 9, sorry. I'll just go back. Yeah, in the case of this, the rotation first happens at 13 rather than 15. So we do a right rotation first and then we, oh, sorry, the right rotation will fix. This is not RL case. Okay. Yeah, here I can say. In the first case, we had the RL case, right? So the R is not happening at, sorry. The machine has become slower than, yeah. So the first rotation is not happening at 6. The first rotation is happening at 15. Right? The final rotation will happen at 6. So overall rotation will follow that, but not the primitives. That is correct. Overall rotation will happen, the RL will happen at 6, but yeah, the primitives will not happen. The last rotation will happen at the imbalance node. Correct. Okay, we have already exceeded the time, so we'll look at the code later. I'll wait for any questions. Yeah, no problem. We'll look at the code tomorrow, and day after tomorrow we'll have some problem solving, some quiz, mock quiz. Okay, Murari says, as there are multiple ways to rotate and make BSTs balanced, did those 3 people prove that this method is the most efficient way? Okay, what these people have proven is that you require only 2 rotations and that the complexity is logarithmic in the height. Logarithmic in the number of nodes, the order of height. However, if we perform some other rotations, there is one thing is we have to figure out that it works in all the cases. Second thing we have to prove is the correctness, the complexity, that you can always get a height balanced tree irrespective of how the structure is. What they have proved is, and in some sense you can also see at least intuitively that you are going to height balance it always, and the complexity can also be proven. Plus it can be done in 2 rotations. That is another piece that is required. Thankfully, the rotation is not a complicated business. But if you have to do multiple such rotations, if these turn out to be much larger, then we'll have to see. So what I'm trying to say is that we know that whatever Adelson, Wilsky, Landis have given, that works. But there could be other ways which might work and give the same complexity, which I don't know if people. Yeah, there are other trees where actually this is proven. For example, B trees and red black trees, but they use a slightly different mechanism. It's not exactly the way we have seen it in AVL. In fact, those are a little more relaxed than AVL tree, splay trees, for example, as well as red black trees. So yes, but there could most efficient. I mean, you can't do better than log n in this case. So we can't beat that. In the worst case, you might require all the way up to the root. So I don't think you will be able to beat that. So this is the most efficient, yeah, in the complexity sense. But the absolute time sense, this is not the best. I mean, that also I will mention that absolute time of AVL trees turns out to be little larger. And that's why we have these other trees, red black trees, splay trees, etc. In fact, the library implementations which internally make use of, for example, in C++, we have this set, not sets. Yeah, I think sets or maps. Internally, they use some sort of a tree. That tree is, it turns out they use red black trees rather than AVL trees. And because the AVL trees are a little complexity wise, it's okay, and red black trees will maintain that complexity, but absolute time wise, these are complex compared to the other trees. Splay trees is another example which some libraries use. In fact, I'm going to show you a little bit about splay trees because it follows the notion of these rotations. And you can see that it's going to be better compared to the strict adherence to the height balance that AVL tree demands. Salman says, can we prove the complexity of insertion? Yes. So one thing is that insert requires order log n in BST. Right? That is what we are going to need anyway. So log n is definitely involved. What we have to prove is the complexity of rotations. If we can prove that the complexity of rotations is constant time, or even logarithmic might be okay, as long as we are saying that we are doing constant number of rotations, which is the case, the one rotation or two rotations, then the complexity still continues to remain log n. So that we can prove. I'll show you the code from where you will get the complexity very quickly. But that insertion of a node all the way to its original place, as in BST, that needs to be considered, right, beyond the complexity of rotations. And therefore, it is definitely going to be log n. Any other concerns, questions? Sarma says, isn't rotation a constant time operation? Good. You guys tell me whether it is constant time or log n. Since we are doing only pointer updates, it turns out to be a constant time operation. So the parent link also needs to be updated, but that can also be done in the constant time. But as far as the remaining subtree is concerned, there is only pointer update which is happening. Although it looks like we are rotating the tree and so on, but that is only visual. Right? So it's just a couple of pointer updates which we do. So you are right, Salman, that it's a constant time operation. Rotation is a constant time, and therefore double rotation also becomes a constant time operation. And therefore the complexity is essentially dictated by the traversal in the initial case when we are inserting, and there is one more place where we might require log n something. In case you want to figure that out, I'll leave it as a question in case somebody wants to find out where extra more beyond BST we require something which is log n apart from the insertion part. I'll leave it as a homework. All right. Any other concerns, questions? Okay. So we'll stop here. See you tomorrow.